Hey all, welcome to Parker's Reefs. On today's episode, I get to fulfill a reefing dream, and that's to sit down, have a one-to-one, honest chat with the CEO of Aquaforest. Wow, how about that intro? That's courtesy of OEC, my brand new sponsor for 2020. These guys are launching a brand new VPN. I'm not going to chew your ear off about it, but check out the website if you're looking to secure your internet. Other than that, guys, let's get into the interview that I did with Seweryn. Let's check out what Aquaforest is up to, what they've got planning for this year, and just generally talk about old school reefing with the CEO of Aquaforest himself, Seweryn.
All right, everyone, welcome to Parker's Reefs. I'm incredibly fortunate because I'm here at my amazing Underwater Pet Expo, which has been a passion, an absolute immense amount of work for the last few months, and the venue it's here, we're set up, the expo is pumping. We've got so many people that have come and visited this weekend, and none more important in my eyes other than the CEO of Aquaforest. Seweryn has come all the way from Poland to represent Aquaforest at this show, and I honestly don't know which one I'm more excited about. The show's going great. I get the opportunity to sit down and talk with Seweryn about all things Aquaforest, how the company's got to where it is now and where it's going in the future.
Okay, so first, thank you for the invitation. I'm very excited to be here. It's a great show. I'm very excited that some of the shows really in Australia start to grow, thanks to Sam. And I'm very glad and very happy to be here. Thank you, Sam. So, first of all, we had a booth there. We show the products, the new products. And I would like to say something new about the products that we will launch soon.
Yeah, please do.
And technically, we should launch it at Interzoo, but I'm not sure of the situation on the world if it will be the show. If we'll be there.
So you're saying maybe because of the coronavirus, we could get an exclusive here. We might hear about a new product.
Kind of. I said to somebody before, but let's say,
right.
but it was today. Yeah, exactly. But anyway, I would like to say that we will launch new line of aquariums, Aquaforest aquarium, and I'm very excited. It's a big project for our company, and at the same time we look at on all the tanks that are available on the market. We analyze everything, and from our experience, we tested and we found out what should be make better, and we did that. And for sure, I'm very excited about this product because this is really amazing tanks. We have a lot of new features that will be included in the tank, like Opti-White glass, which is made by Pilkington, one of the best and the biggest company that produce the glass. So
they come from a small town about an hour out of Melbourne, and one of the original big manufacturing facilities in Geelong was Pilkington Glass. They made automotive windshields there.
Yes.
So people in my hometown are very familiar with Pilkington and the quality of glass they produce.
I didn't know that they are famous here, because I know that in Europe it's #1. And also about the quality, of course.
Yes.
But the glass, it's one thing. So it will be Opti-White, will be very, very transparent, and it look amazing as a quality. All the parts, 100% of the parts will be made in the European Union. So what will be different? We will have the plumbing that will have a good diameter. You know that will help the filtration, really the filtration, because we all know that it is very important to have a good flow between the sump and the main tank to have the possibility to filtrate everything.
So you can't get the water out of the display to the filtration area. You can't filter it.
Yeah, exactly. And I know that that most of the tanks have something, the turnover like a 2.5, 3, because they use some small diameter pipes. I can understand why is that, because the price is different, but we will have the right one. And I'm sure that will make a huge difference. And that's the one thing. We will have amazing valve, which will be super precise as well. The value of this valve in Canada, in Australian dollar, will be probably like $300-400 just the valve that you will retail. You will like to buy it. Of course, we buy a volume, so we can lower the prices. But it will be a super nice and super quality. It's almost indestructible.
Nothing's worse. I mean, there's two things that go absolutely awry, and that's if you've got a cheap ball valve that you make a small adjustment on, and you just touch it, and you go from being too closed to too open. or even worse, it seizes and you have to really push on it, then you break the handle and you.
No, honestly, it's at the beginning when I saw this valve, it was kind of for me strange because I should turn it like 40 times to close it, you know. But that shows how precise it is.
Exactly.
And we will have something new that probably we will launch a patent on this. So it will be a kind of special silencer on the overflow area that make the whole system much quieter. Yeah, exactly.
You're doing good.
Yeah, okay.
English is not your first language.
No,
so I'm highly impressed.
No, but anyway, so that's that. We will have the good quality German-made cabinets, and it will be water resistant. We will have at least for a start 9 colors,
okay, wow.
And it could be changed even when the tank is running. So it will be just very easy and plug the outside cabinet,
yes.
And you can replace it. It's good for women and for us the men's because usually women choose the colors,
yes.
and we have excuse to have a great tank.
Exactly. Well, the last thing you want is when your wife decides that she wants to change the colouring of the house and the aquarium's going to have to go.
Yeah.
There you say, well, it doesn't have to go. We'll just change the panels.
Exactly.
And we're good to keep it.
And of course it will be easier it is easier for stores to have all the colors in the stores because they will not need to have 9 different tanks. Sure. They will have just 9 different panels. So another thing, we will have the sump that will be made from the PCV, so super high quality sump with different possibility to adjust, to put some algae scrubber, to put some tanks, to put some sacks, to put some even there will be a lot of possibility inside.
Very
yes, exactly, very comfortable. And what else? There will be a lot of different. Now I don't have in my mind, but it's we invented from the start. And first of all, it looks great.
I was going to say, knowing Aquaforest as a brand, you guys don't release anything that doesn't look great, even to the level of your test kits.
No.
Your test kits are the nicest looking test kits on the shelf.
Thank you very much. But they are working well as well.
They're fantastic quality, but I mean, where I was going with the test kits is even the attention of detail to the packaging of your test kits are fantastic. So when that scales up into your reactors, into your medias, into your aquariums, we know they're going to look the part. They're going to be beautiful pieces.
So we would like to try to be very attractive as a price point, but of course it will be a little bit more expensive than the other brands that you have on the market. But you will find a lot of quality on it. You will find a lot of features inside. So I'm definitely sure that people would like to pay a little bit more, not much, but a little bit more for all these features. And what happened? We will have that's a very interesting thing. We will have the hinge inside that will be laboratory quality. Okay. So it's impossible to have a rust on it.
Beautiful.
And it's for us as a producer, it costs 5 times more than normal ones.
I can imagine.
But we use it in our laboratory the same. Yes. So it's even iodine would not react with this.
Lab spec.
Yes, exactly. So we had a tough decision to if we should include it because it will be quite expensive. We should cover in the price, but we decided that because I know how painful it could be. You have a tank and the rust is always there on the hinge.
It just spoils the image when you open up the cabinet and you can see a rusty hinge there. And plus, you can also then get contamination in your water as well if there's things happening there. So
exactly.
I mean, there's plenty of options for cheap aquariums on the market. There's not so many options for really good quality aquariums on the market, and I'm certain there is a huge scope. Lots of people out there that would be willing to pay that a little bit more to get significantly better.
So our goal was not to make a 50% more expensive tank, because I know we will not be for everybody. We want to be for everybody, but at the same time we'd like to have a quality for few. If I can say like that.
I mean, if you could get a Hyundai or you could get a Mercedes, and the Mercedes only cost a little bit more, people will pay a bit more for the Mercedes.
It's very difficult, to achieve that. That's why it took us so long to test it, to see it, because we should buy the volume to have this price for the parts. Even the valve there, normally it will be not. If it costs $400 for a valve, including the tank or the sump inside. So we buy the machine to cut the sumps, very sophisticated one, just to make in the house. to reduce the prices. You know, not to outsource all the things.
Well, I mean, that's a big investment from you guys up front.
Yes. Yeah, but I'm sure there will be a space for this kind of tank. But anyway, so that's why for the beginning we will have the special promotion with our products included, and I believe that in Australia it will take a time because we have the transportation itself. It will take 2 months from Europe. But anyway, I believe it will be available in 5 months, something here. In Europe, it will be available in 2 months, I believe, something like that.
I mean, for Australia, that's not always a bad thing either, because that means we give the rest of the world, or some other areas, Europe, for instance, a couple of months head start, so they can have a look and see what, you know, if there's any little tweaks or things that you should, particular colours that you like or something like that. Because sometimes, I'm sure you'll do a great job with the brochure and whatnot, but sometimes when you see the colours in person, you'll go, actually, I like that colour more, so we'll let everyone else have a look at them, test them out, and then we'll be ready to buy them in 5 months' time.
Yeah, that's true. But of course, we will send it at the same time that we'll launch it, so it'll be somewhere on the way. But if something will wrong, we'll have time to repair it. But we did that. You know, we test this tank for 6 months already in our place, so it's not ready, and we check. We changed the project probably like 10 times already. Some small stuff we changed it because there was too much noise, or you know, I will not tell the details, but it was a long process to really get to the right place. But anyway, so I think that's the most important and most important for us, especially as a new product. But of course, we launched the new Aquaforest Lab products that is based on ICP tests. I know that in Australia it's kind of difficult because you should send to Europe the vials, but it is as it is, and I hope that one day will be something here in Australia.
It doesn't take away the good things you're doing. Just because we're a long way from you guys, that's on us, not you.
Yeah, but anyway, we have the whole line of Aquaforest Lab products, and these products we will change some trace elements that we have for now, like iron, like potassium, and what else? Iodine. Maybe iodine will stay, but the smaller bottle that we had before, we will gradually change to the bigger one, the Aquaforest Lab. Generally, it will be the same product, but a little bit more diluted. But it will be easier to dose at the same time, more precisely.
More forgiving as well. If you've got a very concentrated product, the difference between 1 drop and 2 drops can be a lot on a small tank. Where if it's a little bit more diluted, you can go.
You can go to the dosing pumps, and the price will be the same.
Yes.
So there will be no really any issue for a customer to change that. But in the same time, you will have a strict instruction how to use it. If you have an ICP test, so if you don't have it, you can use it, and there will be instruction how to do it, just as a prevention to drop and in the same time, one of our bestseller product, which is the component 123, we did the same one from lab from the lab version, so it's called Component Pro.
Yes.
And Component Pro, generally it's the same product but double concentrated.
Yeah, right.
And so it's good, you know, you pay less for shipping, we use less plastic, we use, you know, all so that's why we launched it. At the beginning it was difficult for us because we didn't know how to concentrate alkalinity, but we found out that some mixture of some elements can double the concentration. So
working away in the lab again.
Yes. That's why we have 6 chemists in our company. We have 2 biologists that work all the time and try to invent some tests, new products, bacteria and all stuff. So we do almost all things we do in our company as about chemicals. Even the test kits, we do all reagent, we test them in the ICP. So that's why
that's one of the things I love the most about your test kits is that they come with some reference fluid that has been ICP verified.
Yes.
That with all other test kits, I mean, Fauna Marine sell a reference solution and a couple others sell a reference solution. That reference solution costs as much as your test kit.
Yes, that's
and your
true.
test kit comes with a reference solution that's also true. Then been ICP verified.
Yeah.
It's just head and shoulders above the rest in my
That's
mind.
true. It's not a big deal for us because we make not a big deal. That's how we did. But anyway, we did it's just a salt water inside. Yeah. We tested with ICP. We showed the result. And the problem is that sometimes when somebody will open it, it could evaporate somehow.
Of course.
But that's why we mentioned on the packaging, use it just 1 month. And because if you will use it, if you will leave it not sealed, it could evaporate, and that will change the water chemistry in the same time. So some people just ask us, oh, it's not the same. So when you will open it, something could happen. You know?
To be honest, that's the sort of they're only a fairly small vial anyway. For me, that's really just a once-off use. I know you can use it again if you seal it up and you're very careful with it, but for me, it's a sanity check of if I start to see a test result that I think is beyond where, and I'm questioning whether my tank has changed a lot, or whether I've made a mistake on the test, or whether the test kit has been exposed to air or something for too long, that's when I'll open the reference solution and check, and then I'll find out from there whether I'm testing it wrong or something has changed in the tank.
But you are experienced reefer, so you know that you pass through this to make not the right way the test. I passed through this as well, and even I thought I was quite experienced reefer or aquarist, and I make the mistakes as well. So I just put, I found some air in the syringe. I put one drop too much, and so that's the case.
It can happen when you're doing like 5 or 6 test kits, and this one's 5 drops, this one's 3 drops. This is reagent A, reagent B. I mean, sometimes you do these things late at night or early in the morning, and you can be a bit asleep.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Easy to make a mistake.
So that's why we put this reagent test, and that's why we gave in every test we put some certificate that this test was tested with the ICP. So in the same time we put the water, we have some water. We make a test with ICP. We make it with the batch of this because of course it's not possible to make every test the same procedure because it will be too expensive. But anyway, we do the batch. 2, 3, or 4 because when we make a test, it's as I remember 500 tests that we do at once. So we make 3 of them and we check if they're accurate. We put the certificate inside the packaging, and generally we do with all the products the same way. The salts, probably you saw it, that every salt it's ICP tested. We are totally transparent with our customers. So the procedure is we make a batch of 1 ton salt. It's the 3 samples of this batch. It's going to the lab. They mix it. Looking for the clarity, for how it's dissolved. Is everything's fine? It's going to the ICP test, and they check the results. If they match our hello.
Hi.
If they match our range that we would like to have, this result land in the database. And it's available for everybody. And we gave the signal to the production, put it in the buckets or put it in the boxes. And if something is wrong, sometimes it's happened, of course. So it's going to remix it or we throw it away, the batch, sorry. But it's not happened too often, honestly, because we have a double check. We check the components of the salts as well before mixing, and after the salt itself. So it's a procedure that costs us a lot of effort and a lot of money, but I believe it's worth for us. Because I remember a time that we had once a situation like 2 or 3 years ago. We have a very high contamination in one of the elements, and if we don't make this procedure,
you don't know
until we put it in the market.
Tell you.
And
then you don't want that happening.
So I know that from this moment, I know I was 100% sure from the beginning that it's worth to do it, but then I was super certain that it was a good idea.
And look, I'm not downplaying the fact that it's still a lot of work, but I mean, if you've got that many chemists and you've got access to an ICP machine and you guys are producing high quality equipment, products, it makes absolute sense to at least use those resources to continue that high standard of product, and it's a testament to the work you do.
Yeah, we are living in some new generation and new possibilities. ICP, it's one way, it's a very good tool that we use. But it's a curse in the same time. But people just they are focusing on some trace elements that are really major. I mean, very small amounts. And I have so many questions from we have in that. For example, somebody found 1 microgram, which is 1 part of the million of gram in 1 liter. Of course, it's some of the elements. It could be lethal, even this amount. But they found one of these too low as a recommendation, and he's focused on that. He asked what I should do, but in the same time he missed it that he has a alkalinity 12 or he has a potassium 300, and he don't see that. He sees this only. So ICP it's very effective tool to give us an idea where we are.
Yes.
And at the same time, don't be too focused on don't chase the number. The stability, the consequence, what we are doing are more important than these small elements.
You're telling us that, I mean, Aquaforest sell ICP test kits, and you're saying that they're a wonderful tool, but don't delve too deep into the details.
No.
Don't overthink the numbers. No. You're more about getting a trend, getting a baseline, seeing where things are, seeing if things are changing rather than if you're just seeing one element that's a little bit here or there.
No, but honestly, I do the ICP test,
yes.
you know, because it's a kind of addict. I have access. Hey,
I would do it too.
Yeah, so I do almost every week, you know, just because I'm going to work, I give but I see, I'm changing the number now just to see if it's work.
Sure.
So I chasing the small numbers, you know, and now I have a perfect water, a really perfect one with all elements, even like a vanadium or other stuff that are normally people don't know what is that even. But I have that. But it's you know, I work with that.
There's in the world that are doing ICP tests weekly. So.
Yeah. But anyway, it's good to make it once by month or 2 times by month, just to see if you are on the right track. And if everything's fine in your tank, don't look at the other things, you know.
Yeah, you don't need to go chasing numbers.
Yeah, but sometimes, you know, some people see that it's good to make, for example, arrow water, which is we forget about this, that even if our TDS that we have at home shows you 0, yes. This means nothing, you know. This kind of TDS, if you have low battery, they will show something else.
Okay.
And I was asking the professional TDS how much it costs. It's $600, $60,000, $600. They're professional.
A little bit too expensive for the average hobbyist.
No, for sure. We don't have something like that even. But anyway, we have a special super quality arrow water. We have something like that in our company because it's different than the normal arrow water. It's a big tool. But anyway, we have something like that for laboratory purpose. But generally, we like to say that even if you have TDS 00, it doesn't mean that you have some contamination in the water, and sometimes it happens. For example, it could be some potassium that is good, but you or any other like a strontium, and if you have our water that you dose every day, you to replenish the evaporation so you dose these elements as well. Yeah. So you don't know where it come from. And it could come from the arrow water.
The average hobbyist will use RO water for evaporation. Yeah. They'll use it to mix their salt water, and then they'll use it often to mix elements to dose as well. Yes. So if you've got something off in your RO water, you're effectively putting that 3 times into the tank.
Exactly.
Things can go bad.
Every day. Right. So it doesn't. But sometimes that's the way that you have. It's good to have 000 on your ICP, but sometimes you have, I don't know, contaminated water at home, or not contaminated. You can have calcium. You can have some like a 12 or 20 calcium. Yes. It's not too bad, but you should be aware that you are adding all the time. You know, so it's good to know. You know, even once but you know, for example, when I leave, they make a cleaning of the plumbing and things like that, and sometimes they contaminate water, not for human consumption, but corals are much more sensitive. I like to say that I like to just tell to people my story. When I was I test my water from home, an ICP, because I use tap water to drink because I have a clean water at home. But sometimes I bring it to the laboratory, and once I bring it, and I have the CU, it's a copper. I have a copper 500 micrograms in my water.
Yeah, that's not good for reef.
And I said to the biologist, and I said, it's a lot, you know, it's nothing wrong with that. And she said, no, you have okay. It could be 3 times more. You can, it's with the norms. Yes. And I said, okay, my corals will die at 5. Yeah. And or at 3, 4, 5, something like that. And I can drink that. So no problem. Yeah. Yeah, so that shows what is the difference, you know, between normal norms and our norms that we should fulfill on the reef. Yeah. That's a funny thing. Even me, I didn't know that.
That's the thing that with your RO water, that can happen without even without any notice. Yeah. Somewhere downstream, the council can be reworking the plumbing. Yeah. They don't need to tell you unless it goes beyond those recommended regions. Yeah. And all of a sudden, you're even passing through your RO machine. You're getting contaminants through your water.
Exactly.
Well worth doing it. In fact, it's almost more important, in my opinion, because it's the invisible part where you can't really see with your RO. You can't have a visual look at it and see whether it's looking good or not. Or at least with the water in your tank, you can look at your tank and you can know. An advanced aquarist can have a look at their tank and know that they don't even have to test sometimes. They can look and go, it's on point, looks great. Other times I look at it and go, something's wrong. I don't know what's wrong, but something's wrong.
Exactly.
You can't do that with RO.
No.
You need to ICP test it.
That's true, that's true. But you know, the same way, some aquarists know when to dose potassium, when to dose other elements or iodine or fluoride, because they see the color of the, but it's advanced stuff, you know, it's, you should know your corals, you know, as you know your corals, because I'm crazy probably like you, I'm looking on the tips, I'm looking on the polyps, and I can see, oh, something's wrong, you know, something's wrong. So it's been a while I didn't have any issue in my tank, but sometimes something like that happens, you know.
The hobby's a roller coaster. I mean, if it was easy, I don't think it'd be quite as alluring if it was easy. The fact that it is a continual challenge and we're continually learning is what makes it such an attractive hobby to me.
Exactly. If you will be in the stable position, then it will be not so attractive.
Not such a challenge.
Yeah, but still, I have spoke with so many people today, and I see that people sometimes they don't realize that in our hobby the change should be made slowly. So that's something that is very important. I would like to say it's obvious maybe for some, but some are not. So they think, for example, when they make a water change, because they have, for example, high nitrates, and they want to lower it, so make a water change, 50% of water change. So what happens? That they have, let's say, they have 20 of nitrates. They make a 50 water change, water have 0, so they drop in 1 minute by 50%. So they will have 10. It's the change. You think it's good, but the drastic change will stress your corals.
Would be even more of a problem than the 20 nitrates. The drastic change will upset them more, which is, people think they're doing the right thing, but they're actually killing them with kindness.
Yes, exactly, exactly. So you know that, I know that, but many people, I was speaking to so many people because there was a guy who has a beautiful tank and he killed almost all corals, and I said, and he don't know why, and I just tell me what happened. And he said, I make a 50% water change. And what was your nitrates? And he said like a 25 or 30, I don't remember. But anyway, so you have your answer. You know, it's not because you have not the right salt or anything like that. So you make a big change in the very short period of time.
And particularly, 30 nitrates isn't great, but
no, that's true.
Say it was even higher. Say it was 60 nitrates, which is
super
even worse. It's quite high. The animals and the corals are already quite stressed at that level, and then you go and make a drastic change to it. They're already stressed, and you add another layer of stress.
Yes.
Of course, they're going to die.
Yeah, that's true.
Too much of delicate, fragile creatures.
Yeah. So we can just really tell it's a good talk because we have a sharing opinion, and that's a good for people because some people think that it will be obvious. But something they don't know because we are not advanced all. But something that I would like to talk, if you are talking about something like that as well, it's about the salinity, which is also, I think, from my perspective, from ICP that we receive, it's the most important factor that we have in our hobby. People don't realize that if they have the wrong idea about the salinity, they have the wrong idea about all parameters.
Exactly.
Yeah, because if you have a higher salinity, so that means the concentration of salt in the water are higher, so all parameters will be higher.
Absolutely.
So when you think that you have 35 and in reality you have 40, so what happened? All the parameters will be very, very high. Let's say normally in 35 you will have calcium 420, but with the salinity 40 will have 480 or even 500 maybe. So then you think, you think that you have the right salinity, so you think that you have too high calcium. So what happened? You just stop dosing calcium or some other additive for calcium, and you will drop it. And when you will drop the salinity on the right level, you will find out that you have 350. And so that's something that I told this story a few times. But anyway, we have a gathering of aquarists in our place, and we offer them ICP for free. And we ask them, they bring the water. We ask them to tell us what are the parameters that they think that they have.
Okay.
And what surprised me or shocked me that 85% of the people have the wrong idea about the salinity. Wow. 85%.
Yeah.
Only 50% of these guys. new. They have I don't know if they're guessing or something, but anyway, they have the right idea. So that shows me that it's very, very important thing to say to the people that just use the right tools. Yes. Because it's not because you don't do it right, but you don't have the right tools.
Absolutely.
And usually we found some refractometers on the market that are not made really for salt for the seawater. Yes. They are made for seawater, yes. Which is not the seawater, salt water. Yes. Salt water is used for food industry mostly. Okay. So they have different readings sometimes, yes, yeah. And it's good to calibrate this refractometer with the RO water, for example, yes. To compare. So I don't have any really recipe how to do it right, but there are some tools on the market. I will not really make make advertisement of other tools, okay. But still there are some refractometers that are good. Yes. You can find your opinion, but it's or even the electronic ones. Yes. They are quite accurate as well. Yes. So buy one. I know it seems to be expensive at the beginning, but it could be the most important thing that you will buy in our industry.
I must admit, I haven't been a big fan of the digital refractometers going around because, no. Well, I say digital refractometers. No. I have a digital refractometer, and it's a legitimate digital refractometer. It's not a conductivity.
Okay, pen. Yeah, that's true.
Conductivity pens I do not trust. Yeah. I've seen them vary too much. For me, it needs to be a refractometer, whether it's an optical one or a digital one. Yeah. They're the ones I've seen the most success with. But even still, you need to calibrate it, you need to check it. You can calibrate it with RO water, you can use the reference solution in the Aquaforest test kits.
For example.
It's got the salinity on there. Even just check against your friends. Yeah. Get them to bring their refractometer over, see what their water test at, see what your water test at on both. Yeah. Just make sure you're getting similar numbers, because as soon as you see some variance there, as you say, every element starts offsetting.
And then you start to adjust it on the wrong on the wrong basis.
Exactly. You started making mistakes on top of mistakes, and that's how things spiral very quickly.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But mostly, sometimes corals can. Mostly corals can survive the higher parameter, lower parameter, when they are stable.
Yes. Yeah,
exactly. So sometimes I saw some beautiful tanks that they have a high nitrates, high phosphate, but they are stable. Yes. So they are, as you said, they are used to it somehow. It's not the ideal situation.
Despite being very fragile creatures, they're incredibly adaptable. Yes. They do adapt to the conditions, but I mean, they're not that unlike humans. And we're in Melbourne today, which is a city that's known for having 4 seasons of weather in one day. We can go from very hot to raining or hailstones within a day. And so it's probably a bad example to use. I was going to say the humans are very similar in that we can tolerate 40 degrees Celsius every day. No. But we're not so good at tolerating 40 one day and then 0 the next, and then
that's
40.
True. Yeah.
That's the sort of weather that makes people sick, and if the people are already sick or they're elderly, they're probably going to struggle to get through that weather period.
Exactly,
and exactly the same.
And the corals are, as I said before, about the example of the norms that I can survive to drink water. You see, there are 100 times more fragile than we are.
Our window of acceptance is there. Yeah. There are corals about there.
Exactly. You are probably you survive some coral death, and I did the same. And sometimes I don't know why. Honestly, I have a perfect parameter. I remember one story. I have a Acropora cardus, cardus, which is one. And so I have it for 4 years or 3 years. It was quite big, with the cardus. It's beautiful. It was like it was a rose one with the pink, with the yellow tips, and it was beautiful. So it was quite big. I moved it in my tank for probably 5-6 centimeters, and the next day I found it dead. Nothing changed, nothing. I just moved it 5 centimeters.
Yes.
Why? I don't know. Honestly, I don't know till today. Yeah. So they are very fragile animals.
Very fragile. There's so many elements at play in that. Yeah. I mean, water is obviously one that we have a little bit of control, or at least awareness of, but I mean, the number of other organisms in the tank, from fish to other corals to tiny little critters that can upset corals, down to bacterial level things.
Exactly.
You get bacterial infections that you really can't see until it's too late.
That's true.
And
sometimes we cannot prevent it. Okay, we can prevent it. We can use deeps when you introduce something in the tank. I'm a huge fan to do that, because there are some bacterial infection that you have. The corals can survive in the natural environment, but when they came to our small environment, closed
ecosystem.
And I survive. We have a big tank in our company. We had 250 different Acropora, and we add different. Everyone is different. We have a collection like that, and we add some Fiji corals, as I remember, was a long time ago, and we dip it even, and then 2 days after, all corals was ill. Like not all are dead because probably 50% of them are dead, and the parameters of chemical parameters was perfect. It's totally perfect. And we found out on the laboratory it was a bacteria. We know which one, and we tried to. We used the antibiotic, but antibiotic we are not normally as a hobbyist we don't know which one we should use it, and you should have a prescription on that. And we saved 50%, but it was like 2 days. Just we know that it's an infection coming from the corals, other corals. So so what we can do, you know, sometimes it's just like that.
Unfortunately, a lot of this hobby is risk management. It's impossible to write a book on it and give us the textbook version of how to reef successfully. It really is how to mitigate risks in reefing successfully. No one wants to make silly decisions and put things at risk. The best we can do is put our best foot forward and hopefully that we do the right things. We're still taking a risk and things can go wrong, but hopefully if we make the right choices, we're going to have a better success rate.
Yeah, and as you said, every time we should make a decision, think twice, a drastic decision especially, to make a big water change or adding something that somebody told me, just examine that before, you know why you're doing that.
When you walk around an expo like this and you see all these incredible new products and equipment and you go, oh, I'm going to go home and put it all in my tank. Maybe just do one at a time perhaps.
Exactly.
Just get your head around that,
exactly.
Just make slow changes, make sure, monitor your corals and your fish health. See how things are reacting.
No, because I see that we are very exciting about new products. We are selling products, so we can say that. But anyway, just if you will do it one at the time. Start to, for example, you have a recommended dosage. Start to 1/4, half of the recommended dosage, and observe what happened. Observe. That is and try to know why you're dosing that. You know, make this some research as well. I see many miracle products that will do miracle one day. It doesn't happen like that usually. Usually there is no, we cannot, you know, make nitrification cycle in one day. I don't know nothing about this. But there are some companies who said, okay, next day you can put coral. No, I don't recommend that. Going the right way, take your time in every change, and know what you are doing first of all. Yeah, it was a great talk, you know.
Is there anything else you want to cover? Or?
No, but just as about the Aquaforest products. So we are very happy to be in Australia. I know that we have a very good distribution here, and the stores have these products in shelves, and we do the products as we do for ourselves. You know, I use the products in my tank, in our home tank, in our partners have the tanks. And
I must say that's what I do love about the company. You can see the passion from not just yourself. I mean, it's fantastic. The CEO has the passion of the hobby. It's not just a business. It's not just a job. It's something you're truly passionate about. But it also filters down through your staff. I can see the whole Aquaforest team is super passionate about what they do.
True.
And I mean, they're obviously going to enjoy their work a lot more and actually care about what they're doing. And then that shows in their products. Which, I mean, as a hobbyist at the end of the line that then buys those products, takes home, it shows through, and it makes a quality product.
It's true. We have a very, very sophisticated tools, but in the same time we are old school reefers, and sometimes I see something that I need to have, or I would like to have. So we have a brainstorming and try to find how we can do that, how we can move forward. It's not just the product, the chemical. You know, we have I don't know, chemical numbers that it'll be this and that. No. We test it. We have a beta testers. We always try to be sure before we will enter something in the market that is working, that is worth to do it. We don't want to sell any placebo, and we don't want to do it. Some people ask that, oh, just I need the products for this, and I said, okay, for this moment we don't have any solution to how to deal with this product. Or it's not legal way to enter. I don't know, like to battle Dianophagus, for example. We don't have, honestly, nothing to battle with them. We have some antibiotics, we have some other stuff, but in our hobby it's not possible to sell it without prescription. So I don't want to sell a placebo, for example.
No,
you know?
exactly. No, that's fair. And the honesty and straight line approach is what will pay dividends in the long run, and I'm certain I can already see it is working for Aquaforest. I mean, it's a very well trusted and respected brand, and
thank you, sir.
That's something you don't want to lose anytime soon by
No.
coming out with placebo products. So.
No, that's why when we launch something, we have this laboratory, we have this procedure how to test product. Even the rock that we have now, it was a long time. It took us a long time to really produce it because we want. First of all, we have the first project that was not without any colors. But we want to have the colors because I see the customers want to have it, but we didn't find the right tools to make them colorful. We tested so many different products to make them color, and there is always something contaminates something because we have this possibility to test it. And now we found one. It's super safe and it's beautiful, and the rock it's very light, very porous. And it's something that I would like to always say because we, as a rock, because we are talking about the rock, we forget what is the role of the rock in our tanks. It's not just the decoration. It's not just a piece of cement that you will put in the tank and just to have a coral on it. It should be media filtration. So that's why I like to say about our rock, it's a media filtration. Very light, very porous. They have a lot of microholes where bacteria can grow in it. And it's buffered. It stabilizes the pH, stabilizes the pH around the rock. So they have a very important role in the tank, and that's why we have this product now.
Well, that's the old school reefing shining through again. Where I know it was only maybe 10 years ago where the live rock in the tank was your main filtration basically, and then over the last decade we've moved away into the having filter medias in our sump and going very minimalistic rockscapes, which we can still do today, but why turn your nose away on such a fantastic filter material in your display tank?
Exactly.
It makes sense.
Exactly. So as we say, as we discuss about it's very important to have the right turnover between the sump where you have your heart or filtration in the tank, because more than you will move the water, more we will filter it. The more effective filtration will be. So that's something that we should remember, because now we are trying to be minimalistic, but there are some rules to follow. We cannot just skip it,
So, there's no need to skip things just for the sake of skipping them. I mean, if they have a purpose, why try to make things difficult? I often say that it's probably possible to run a marathon backwards. Doesn't mean you should do it.
Sure.
It's easier to run forwards. Forwards,
now we are going to smaller skimmers, less effective skimmers. I'm not a huge fan of that. I'm not. If you have fish-only tanks, it will work. But if you want to keep it the demanding corals, what we have access, especially here in Australia, so there's no shortcut. You should have a strong filtration, very good light, very good flow, and it doesn't change yet. You have a lot of product that you can feed them. You can give them the amino acids and all this good stuff. You can keep the low nutrients in the water because you have a nice, very good absorbers as well. But or bacteria, probiotic bacteria that can make the work to reduce the nutrients. But at the same time, all the things should be in the right place.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. Sam, it was great to talk to you.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you.
Thank you very much.
Coming to Underwater Pet Expo. It's a passion project of mine for the last few months, and super excited to see it happen now. And I'm totally humbled and honest that you've made the trip all the way down under.
So we will support next time. I hope we'll be there as well.
I really look forward to it. And not only have you made the time to come to the expo here, you've even made the time to sit down with me and have this conversation.
Oh, thank you. My pleasure.
I really love the Aquaforest brand, and I'm really pleased to meet you, so thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you everybody for watching.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Till next time. Bye.
Bye.